Hi, everybody. It's Jane Johnson with the Briar Hill Group at RE/MAX Camosun and host of Vancouver Island Time. I'm really happy to announce that today is our 50th version of our vlog, Vancouver Island Time. And our guest today is Sandra Yancey. Sandra is CEO of eWomenNetwork. Sandra is the primary reason why I started this blog, actually. She was the inspiration behind it. She will be talking to us today about our upcoming summit at eWomenNetwork, along with ErinActon, who is our local managing director. So first of all, let's go to Sandra. Sandra, tell us all about eWomenNetwork and how long has it been around and what do you do?
I know. It's almost hard to believe that we will be hitting our 20th anniversary this coming September. So 20 years, I can hardly believe it. You know, just a 20-year overnight success. Right. And our mission is very clear, where we are really focusing on helping 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve the $1 million in annual revenue mark. And so what we know is that there are some very specific things that you need to do in order to really kind of grow and sustain $1 million business. And so if that's something that's of interest to you, if that's something that you're saying to yourself, I'd be open to that, then this is the place to be.
Right. And so why is it important to focus on women in business? Why? You know, are men invited to this as well?
Oh, of course. Yes. I mean, we're not anti-male. I mean, I love men. I'm married to a great man most days. And I'm raising a wonderful son most days, right? And I'm sure they'd say the same about me. And the truth of the matter is, I just don't believe you need to put anybody down in order to elevate yourself. But what we do know from research is that women lead differently, what they pay attention to, what they focus on, how they nurture and grow and mentor people is very different than men. And it's not that one is right or wrong or better or worse, it's just different. So we are a very female-centric environment, and we find that many men actually love our environment and are welcome to participate and even join.
Yes, I believe we call them emails, correct?
We do. We call them emails. Right? Yeah. And they actually, so many of them, you know, have expressed more and more interest in just really valuing, you know, our environment of networking, which is really about giving first and sharing always and lifting others as you climb. You know, and so network is about making deposits into relationships. And, you know, when everybody is doing that, then there's all this wonderful receiving going on. I mean, people are receiving leads and contacts and information and resources that can completely, you know, change your business. I mean, really, sometimes it just takes one thing to change everything.
So one of the things I really like about this group is the facilitated accelerated networking. So when you come to one of these meetings, you meet people in an organized fashion. So you come away with an introduction to, I figure it's at least 16 people. Erin, do you want to talk about the next meeting and how that accelerated networking works?
Yes. Well, what we do, we love to turn connections into transactions down the road. And through the accelerated networking process, it's all about getting to know each other at a really deep level in a very short period of time. And so finding out, like, what do you need to help grow your business? And from there, what I'm doing when I'm part of that, I'm listening for, who might be able to really help that person move their business forward, and vice versa. When I hear someone else talking, now that I've heard from this other amazing woman, I can say, oh my gosh, I just learned from Susan or Julie over here who's looking for exactly what you offer. Can I introduce you? It is just such an amazing, way to get to know each other's businesses in a really intentional way. And so we go through that. We ask these four very specific questions to help facilitate that whole getting to know each other and getting to grow and lift each other's businesses as we climb and grow our own businesses.
Exactly.
So these are held every month. When are they held?
In Victoria, we hold our accelerated networking events on the second Tuesday of every month at the Uplands Golf Club.
And this meeting that's coming up is a bit different because Sandra is doing her tour. So when is it?
Yes, it's the 10th annual Women's Success Summit. And of course, we're welcoming men. We already have some men registered for the event, so that's fantastic. And it's coming up, it's on Tuesday, May 14th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. with some informal networking before and after the event as well.
Cool. We call that the pre-glow and the afterglow, correct?
There you go.
Yes.
And so I just want to reflect actually. So I've been a member since 2012 and I saw you speak in 2013, Sandra. And, no, sorry, 2006. And I saw you speak in 2007. And one of the things that amazed me was how down to earth you are. Like, I know you're trying to help 1 million women achieve $1 million, but I really think you come to it from a place of having your feet on the ground. Right?
Yeah, you know, well, I'm a small town farm girl. I'm first generation American. My mother was from Mexico. My father was from Canada. And so I have Lopez and Goulet. So I'm kind of a Heinz 57 mutt in many ways. And my father passed away when I was very little, before I ever got a chance to know him. And so I was raised by a single mom on welfare for many years until she remarried. And, you know, I think that I've just learned, Jane and Erin, that things don't really happen to you, they happen for you. And I think that when you have gone through tough times, and, you know, everybody's got their story, I've learned that too. The value of all of that is not only the lessons that you've learned, but the appreciation of the overcoming, and that the expectation, I think, that, you know, there is enough for everyone. I mean, there's like 7.5 billion people on the planet, and I just feel like there's enough for everyone. And I personally believe, my personal value is that the more goodness you put out in the world, the more you help other people be successful, the more the universe just kind of rearranges. It looks for equilibrium, and it serves to create balance, and it wants to you know, serve you back. And it's just been a philosophy that my mother had, she raised me with. And I find that, you know, with all the formal education and programs that I've invested in, you know, there's just something really fundamental about a belief of abundance, putting it out there and knowing that it'll ricochet back tenfold. And I think it's a harsh environment today. I think that sometimes social media, people can hide behind a screen and say things that are harmful and hurtful and destructive. And, you know, the world is lacking on, you know, kindness. And, you know, my mom used to say, I was telling my son last night, you'll never be accused of being too kind. You know, that doesn't mean that you have to relinquish your values. It doesn't mean that you have to put up with things that aren't fair or aren't right, but it's how we address them and seek to find a solution that works for everyone.
Yeah, and I find sometimes people think that people who are nurturing and caring are perceived as weak, and that's exactly the opposite. They're strong.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's easy to spout off, to, you know, send a nasty gram, you know, or it's just so easy to do that. I mean, the real work is saying, we have a major disconnect here, and why don't we talk about this? Why don't we sit and move into it with each other and work this out so that we both feel okay? You know, my motto has always been that, you know, not everybody comes into your life forever. Some people come in for seasons and reasons. But, you know, when there's a time comes where it's time to go separate ways, I want to be able to run into someone at the Victoria airport and not pretend like I didn't see them, not look at them and look away and have that awkward, you know, silence, but be able to go up and say, hey, you know, what's going on? I haven't talked to you in a while. What's the latest? So happy for your success, you know? And that's a real measure for me in terms of when some relationships have run their course, how do we manage kind of that separation. And that's how you really do build a network, you know, and that is that you're managing, it's easy in the very beginning, right? How do you manage it when it's not easy? How do you manage it when it's time to say, this relationship has served its purpose for both of us, and we're both blessed that it happened, and let's not forget about that, right?
Yeah. Well, ironically, when I first saw you, you were saying that you were in the Seattle airport, and somebody came up and actually said, "Hey, are you Sandra Yancey?"
Yes.
and you were like, "They knew who I was."
I know. It was incredible. I had a member actually that was a flight attendant, and it's ironic that you're bringing up Seattle, because it was another year, completely different time, and I'm flying to Seattle. And when she was coming up to take my drink order, she said, "Are you Sandra Yancey?" Like with eWomenNetwork, because she knew my name from they have a list, you know. And I said, "Yes." She says, "I'm a member." I mean, you just never know, you know, who sees you, who remembers you, and who's watching you. You know, who you are when no one's watching, I think, is probably a better indicator of your character.
Right. And often, especially on social media, a lot of people are
Yes.
watching you.
Yes.
That you don't
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Erin, do you want to speak to the scope of eWomenNetwork? How many chapters are there?
Yeah, we've got 118 chapters in North America and Australia. That is so exciting.
I know. We just had someone apply for Zurich, Switzerland. So we're excited about the growth we're experiencing. Yes.
Yeah. And we've got more than 100 members in Victoria. And what I want to say about that, sometimes say, wow, you've got 100 members. But I always reflect back on my very first experience at eWomenNetwork. And I'm an introvert. A lot of people are surprised when they hear that, but I'm an introvert. And I walked into that room and I really just wanted to melt into the wallpaper
Yes.
so that I could watch everyone.
Yes.
And what I experienced instead, and I'm so glad I did, was you, Jane, you looked over and you're like, "Oh, hey, I don't know you. Come here. Let me introduce you around. Come on over. Who are you? What do you tell me more?" And that experience, I think, really speaks to what eWomenNetwork is. That it's just this community of women who are really genuinely interested, and men, in supporting and growing each other. And that was
enough for all of us. We teach, don't we, Erin, that, you know, if you're standing in a circle and you see someone coming up, if everybody takes just a half step back, right, then we widen the circle. And that person could be the person that makes the comment or has the connection or the idea that could completely transform your business and life. You just never know where it's coming from, and you have to trust that.
Yeah.
And I think for you now, it's your 3rd year anniversary, is it not, Erin?
No, a year and a half. Like for being a member. No, it's like almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yes. So, 4 years ago, I walked in, it was May, I believe, was the meeting that I walked in. It was either
oh my gosh.
Yes. And that very first interaction, I became a member at the very first meeting that I attended, just because of the amazing welcome and just the overall vibe of the group. It was like nothing I'd ever experienced, and I'd been networking.
Yeah. And I find, well, the Success Summit takes it to the next level. So you're going to be learning about the big picture. You're going to be hearing from the best of the best, Sandra Yancey.
Oh, you're sweet.
This is the 10th time that she's been in the city for the summit, and I believe she's been coming to visit us for 12 or 13 years. Is that right?
I think it has been. I was thinking about that, going, oh my gosh, it has been that long. Victoria is a very, and if I can just say this, and ladies, you've been all over the world too, so it's not like I'm the only one here, but it's a special place. I mean, I've even brought my daughter with me to Victoria to spend time, just to have a mother-daughter experience. And I'm bringing her again this year, now that she is, within the corporate structure and the digital marketing director. But it's one of the few, and I travel extensively for eWomenNetwork and personally, it's one of the few places I said to my daughter years ago, I really want you to come here. There's a specialness of the overall population, who you attract, you know, in Victoria. And it's just so, it's so symbiotic, you know, with the eWomenNetwork culture. It's just a natural fit, which is why it's been so successful for so long. Clearly, I would say one of our top 10 chapters, you know, across the world now. Just a really treasured, I really just value the, you know, I've made lifelong friends there. I mean, and I just feel like I'm walking into a room of just smart, savvy, amazing, driven, kind people. It's special. It really is special.
It is. That's why I'm still involved, you know, after so many years. It's been the marketing arm of my business, but it's also been like a great source of support and friendship.
Yeah.
It's really helped me. So, all right. So, Erin, you want to go over the details? How do people get in touch with you about getting tickets for this exciting event?
Yes. Well, you can always access us through the eWomenNetwork.com website. So that's at eWomenNetwork.com, and just find the Success Summit. There's a list of all of them. Or of course, you can always reach out to me personally. Happy to provide that support. And that also sets us apart because we are so, it's a core. We're always so supportive. So you can reach me at ErinActon at eWomenNetwork.com, or you can call me on my cell phone, 250-813-1761.
All right. Thank you, both of you, for showing up today. I really appreciate your time.
Shane, thank you so much for, you know, gifting this really special time, you know, of your day and your show with Erin and I. I'm really grateful, and so looking forward to seeing both of you fabulous ladies and all the other people we're going to be bringing together. It's going to be a great day learning how to grow your prospects and your customers online.
Yeah,
all right.
Very excited.
Okay. Take care. We'll see you on the 14th. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.